Jeffrey Tambor in a scene from Transparent, in which he plays Maura Pfefferman, a transgender woman. He said he would not return for the show's 5th season. Jennifer Clason, Amazon Digital. Via Associated Press, Jeffrey Tambor, the star of the Amazon series Transparent, will not return for the show's 5th season after 2 women accused him of sexual misconduct. Mr. Tambor has strenuously denied the allegations, made this month by one of his co-stars and by a former assistant. But in a statement to Deadline on Sunday, he announced his departure from Transparent, which he called one of the greatest privileges and creative experiences of my life. I've already made clear my deep regret if any action of mine was ever misinterpreted by anyone as being aggressive, but the idea that I would deliberately harass anyone is simply and utterly untrue, he said. Given the politicized atmosphere that seems to have afflicted our set, I don't see how I can return to Transparent, a spokesman for Amazon declined to comment on Sunday. However, officials there had already been considering writing Mr. Tambor off the show, in which he plays the lead character, Maura Pfefferman, a transgender woman, in response to the allegations. Van Barnes, a former assistant to Mr. Tambor, wrote in a private Facebook post this month that he had sexually harassed and groped her. Amazon officials opened an investigation, and Jill Soloway, the creator of Transparent, said she and others on the show were cooperating with it. Soon after, the actress Trace Lysett came forward publicly, saying that Mr. Tambor had made many sexual advances and comments and, on one occasion, physically assaulted her between takes for a scene in which both actors were wearing pajamas. My back was against the wall in a corner as Jeffrey approached me, Ms. Lysett said in her statement on Thursday. He came in close, put his bare feet on top of mine so I could not move, leaned his body against me and began quick, discreet thrusts back and forth against my body. I felt his penis on my hip through his thin pajamas, and I pushed him off of me. At the time, Ms. Lysett said, she laughed and brushed off the episode, because Mr. Tambor was the star of the show and she had to work with him, and because she was accustomed to such mistreatment. Given the journey and circumstances of my life, I was used to being treated as a sexual object by men, wrote Ms. Lysett, who is a transgender woman. This one just happened to be famous. Mr. Tambor, whose representatives did not immediately respond to phone calls and emails seeking comment on Sunday, has denied both women's allegations. He initially referred to Ms. Barnes as a former disgruntled assistant of mine and told Deadline that he was appalled and distressed by this baseless allegation. And after Ms. Lysett's statement, he told The Hollywood Reporter that he was upset to find myself accused of behavior that any civilized person would condemn unreservedly. I know I haven't always been the easiest person to work with, he said. I can be volatile and ill-tempered, and too often I express my opinions harshly and without tact. But I have never been a predator, ever. In response to the flood of sexual harassment and assault allegations against prominent men in the past few weeks, from Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey and Louis C.K. to the Senate candidate Roy S. Moore and Senator Al Franken, the executives behind many projects have been forced to decide what to do when a star becomes toxic. In some cases, these projects have been cancelled. Netflix, for example, suspended production on House of Cards after its star, Mr. Spacey, was accused of making a sexual advance on the actor Anthony Rapp when Mr. Rapp was 14. Allegations by many other men have been reported since. And when a New York Times investigation revealed multiple allegations of sexual misconduct by the comedian Louis C.K., a distributor cancelled the premiere of his movie I Love You, Daddy, and FX and other networks broke ties with him. But in her statement, Ms. Lysett urged Amazon not to cancel Transparent, but instead to remove the problem and let the show go on. The series has been a leader in affirming and employing transgender people. Both she and Ms. Barnes are transgender women, and they should not be punished for Mr. Tambor's actions, she said. Mr. Tambor, 73, is also known for his role in the TV series Arrested Development, which originally ran from 2003 to 2006 but has been revived twice since. Netflix recently finished shooting the 5th season, and it was unclear on Sunday how it would respond. Follow Maggie Astor on Twitter at Maggie Astor.